Welcome back to the GSTL. This is the preseason on Heart of the Swarm. I am Wolf. With me is Kaldor. This has been pretty cool so far.
Yeah, it definitely has been. We have seen the first female versus female game in GOM history.
Yep.
And Aphrodite was able to win it. She advances to the next game, which is going to be against a Terran player, fellow Terran player. And in TVT, she has to face Supernova.
I like this scoreboard. It reminds me of baseball, like innings or something. Obviously, there's going to be a point no matter what, every set, but pretty cool scoreboard. Everything just feels a little bit different for Heart of the Swarm. Even, you know, the production is all new and stuff for this season of GSTL, but I'm just liking everything, man.
It's brilliant. I really, really love it. And I can't wait for the next few matches that we have. Tomorrow is going to be good. The day after is going to be even better. These games are so exciting, and we will see so many new strategies. Here we have the StarTale bench. Bomber, he said he has a lot of good strategies prepared. He's sitting up to the top left. We have Life at the bottom of the map. What is he going to do? Will we see Swarm host Viper?
Yeah, that's the question, man. There's so many different strategies and so many great players on that team.
And Life actually has shown a lot of Hydra play yesterday, especially against Parting.
Yeah, I was watching those games as well. They were pretty insane.
So many players in Wings of Liberty are now getting their hands back onto the Hydra list. We have seen Stefano with the playstyle against Terran. We have seen it from Life versus Protoss now. And in Heart of the Swarm, they're even better.
Yeah, they're a lot better, in fact. Off creep, able to move so quickly. And they just have so much more synergy, I feel. You know, if you go late game with some Vipers out with your Hydras, it makes them even stronger because of their range.
And here we go. Supernova was the one AZUBU sent out to beat the girl.
Yep. Usually
it's pretty bad mana to do that. Here at the GSL, it's fine.
It's absolutely fine and correct. And Supernova looking just, it looks quite good, I have to say. I like what he's done to his face, and you know, it's props to him for actually having the courage to go and do that, and not even being shy about it, saying, you know what, I did this to my face, I look different now, and here's who I am.
Yeah, I really like it, but at first I didn't recognize him. I was like, what?
Yeah, he looks very different.
Yeah, it was quite a surprise. But well, guys, we are ready to go into our next StarCraft game here. This is such an exciting day, such an exciting series. StarTale up against AZUBU at the GSTL Pre-Season tournament. We have Supernova facing off against Aphrodite, the female star of the StarTale team. Next to StarTale Miss, who lives of course in China. The game is on. We are on Howling Peaks, Terran versus Terran. This is the GSTL with Carl and Wolf. And our StarTale player is starting to the bottom left of the map. Think pink, not only a keyboard and a mouse pad are pink, also the color of her command center. She is...
StarTale, Aphrodite.
Taking a lead for her team.
Yeah, here in this best of 7, slight change to the last season, no best of 9s anymore.
Yep.
To the top right, we have her opponent in blue, the Terran player for Team AZUBU.
AZUBU Supernova.
One of OGS's Terran Titans, along with Ensnare back in the day, as well as Top.
And already a little bit of a change in style. We have StarTale's Terran player, we have Aphrodite with an early gasp, whereas Supernova is opting for the barracks before the refinery.
I really like this map for Hellbat drops. It's a map where there's a lot of space in between the natural and the main, so you can kind of hover your drop around there if they don't have a Viking. All sorts of havoc can be wrecked here, especially because if you send some other Hellions by ground, there's 2 entrances to the natural on this map, as I talked about before, which makes Forge Fast Expanding as a Prosperous Zerg basically impossible. But even in TVT, you can run Hellions in by ground into that natural, then drop in the main with Hellbats. It can be really difficult to defend.
And before we get too much into the openings and also into the game, one of the things I want to highlight once again, especially since we have one of the female players in the StarCraft 2 scene now playing, is their Twitter accounts that you guys can follow and support them, especially important here in my opinion for Aphrodite. Her account is actually Aphrodite GY, so make sure that if you really like female gaming, if you are an Aphrodite fan, add her on Twitter, send her a tweet. She is the first player in Heart of the Swarm to ever win a match in the GSTL. So her account once again, Aphrodite GY, and for Supernova we have
AZUBU Supernova is his Twitter account. You know, just putting them together with no underscore. We have a pause.
And that gives you the time.
Exactly. This is why we can tweet or talk about tweets. You can follow myself at ProxWolf, follow Kaldor at Kaldor. And most importantly of all, 2 more Twitters that I would like to recommend are at StarCraft and at GOMTV.
Yeah, exactly. Do all of that right now because we have apparently a bit of a technical issue here in the game. So this gives you the time to hop on Twitter and at those 2 players, and also, of course, as casters and GOMTV and at StarCraft. At StarCraft is tweeting a lot these days.
Yeah.
A lot of Heart of the Swarm preparations are going on. A bit of a puzzle. A lot of people received puzzle pieces that have been sent out to complete a picture. You can also check those out. And I think that everything seems to be fine again. I'm not quite sure what the issue was. Maybe production is going to update it later.
Yeah, he says he messed up one of his hotkeys.
Ah, right. So he's probably going to receive a warning here. AZUBU, that is. And yeah, it should be okay.
Yep, I think it'll probably be fine pretty soon. What did you think about that opening video that we saw today with Kerrigan, you know, describing her past? It was all in Korean with subtitles, but I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of lends itself to maybe having a split in Kerrigan's personality being kind of the focus of the story.
I really like it, and I like the path that the story is taking, but besides the story, I have to say that in terms of the videos that we had before the game started, I really loved the second one a lot more, where we had those players talking.
Yeah.
So much banter is really unusual for the Korean scene, at least what we experience when they are here at the studio and giving interviews. So that was really refreshing to see, and I loved it a lot. If you guys missed it, make sure to check out the VODs of the broadcast. It's definitely worth watching. And the game has been resumed, as you can see. We have already the second gas now being built for Supernova. Aphrodite is sticking it with one gas so far. We have reactor at the barracks.
Yeah, and this is a super fast reactor. It's with the gas first. She was able to start the reactor before her Marine was even started. This is why this SUV can stick around as long as it is, but she's going into Reapers here. Reaper build in TVT can be really scary.
Yeah, double Reaper can be produced, so one of the things that has been changed with Heart of the Swarm. Don't be confused by the production tab. Everyone's looking for the second barracks. Yep. No, guys.
See, Supernova is coming with some pressure here because he knows his opponent was a little bit late on the production, but she having these Reapers will be able to defend against us pretty easily. In fact, should not lose anything here.
Nice micro here. The Reapers, of course, they are now being able to regain hit points. And the funny thing is, just like if actually also chasing down one of those additional Marines. And that's the combat drugs upgrade that we now have. Well, not an upgrade, but just a new ability for the Reaper that helps them to regenerate hit points. And if you think about it, Terrans, they are like the chunkies of StarCraft 2 now.
They really are, man.
They have Stimpack, they have combat drugs, they have so much stuff going on here. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I was wondering how they could see over cliffs, man. I think that was actually... It turns out that was just a figment of their imagination. They thought they could see over cliffs, so now we're looking at it and we're like, no, they can't see over cliffs, it's fine.
Yeah, if you put Reapers onto Cold Turkey, I don't know what exactly will happen to them, but to be honest with you, I don't want to find out.
I don't want to see it. It could be dangerous.
It's probably pretty ugly.
Well, you know what's really interesting now is she's held off this pressure, but she will have to do something to deal with this cloak that Supernova's trying to put out. Can she scout this? She's not quite able to get in there and see the tech lab, it looks like. And uh-oh, these Reapers are in trouble. They don't regenerate inside of combat.
Yeah, and for a second she missed some micro here, messed it up a little bit and wasn't able to get them onto the high ground again. Both Reapers are gone, and now there comes the scan for Supernova. Trying to find out what exactly is going on in Aphrodite's main base. He had the early Marines in there and the SCV, but he wants to know, what's your plan from here on? And he saw the command center for Aphrodite, so now he knows, well, alright, you're gonna play a 2-base game. I am going to try to take you down with my cloak, with my Banshees, and he's actually in a pretty good spot to do that.
Yeah, the supply block here for Aphrodite really not helping her get this Banshee or Viking out, and in fact, she doesn't start a Viking. She starts a medevac, which is going to be useful for drops, but not very useful against Cloak Banshee attacks.
And keep in mind that she doesn't have a lot of means of detection either. So now she goes for the Viking, and she really, really needs it. This is getting so dangerous.
There's the eBay.
And it was about time.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, one Viking is the only anti-air she will have, which she does not have yet. So it's going to take forever to kill the Banshee. It's going to take scans, and then by the time she deals with the first one, the second one's going to get there. This is going to be tragic. This Banshee's going to get so many kills.
This Banshee is having a field day here, taking down Harvester after Harvester. This is bad news for Aphrodite. The StarTale player in trouble. 7 kills on the Banshee already. Here comes the scan, and immediately we have the Banshee retreating. No problem at all keeping it alive.
Yeah, very easy to tell exactly the scan range in Heart of the Storm as well.
I love this.
Yeah,
I really, really like it.
It's great for spectators, great for players.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's very clear cut. There's no more randomness.
Oh, look at this.
She wants to wait for the energy to run out, but unfortunately, there's just a little bit too much. And again, the Viking will escape. This is what I was talking about. If you don't have any other anti-air besides one Viking, you're never going to kill that Banshee. Now the second one's here.
She's getting destroyed, Wolf. She's trying to get this missile turret up, but it's already so late. She's also using a lot of energies. This is mules that she's missing now, and more SCVs are dying. This is Supernova going wild here. He already took down 20 harvesters.
Yep. And the scan will go down once more. Banshee will escape. The turret will finish, which will kind of put an end to this for a little while, but this is a point where Supernova is going to come in with an attack. He's got way more units out overall, and he still has the Banshees, which can fight.
Yeah. And the big problem, of course, also is that 3 scans have been used and not a single Banshee was taken out.
Yep. No Widow Mines for defense, nothing to stop these Hellions from coming in here and finishing off the rest of the units. GG.
GG indeed. Supernova takes the game in convincing fashion, defeats Aphrodite, and ties the score between AZUBU and StarTale.
Yep. Becoming the second lady killer we've ever had in the GSTL.
Yeah, Sniper being the first one, and Supernova. With his new eyes, with his new look, I can certainly see him giving the ladies a few weak knees.
He's giving them a little bit of trouble for sure. And Eve giving the first high five saying thank you for getting revenge.
The revenge match here. Well played by Supernova.
Yep. And now this is when things get real, I feel. Both players with 1 point on the scoreboard. We're going to start seeing some very serious choices coming out. Supernova showing, flexing a little bit of his Cloak Banshee. They're not showing any new styles just yet for Terran vs. Terran, so if they send out another Terran player like Hack or Bomber here, then Supernova may just show a completely different strategy.
I want to see life.
I would love to see life.
Just for the fun of it. I want to see life. I actually think that life didn't have too much time to prepare for
I completely agree. I mean, he just had his match yesterday.
Exactly. He played a lot in the GSL in Codes, but this is actually the reason why I want to see him.
You know what I want to see? I want to see San. This guy has been in Code B for a while. In fact, as far as I know, he didn't even play in the last qualifier because he was so focused on Heart of the Swarm. What has he been doing? How has he been preparing? What's he going to show us if he comes out?
Think about what happens if suddenly Bomber joins the lobby and he picks Zerg or Protoss. It's like, what?
Yeah. Well, as I was talking about San, of course, he won't be coming out just yet. Not until Supernova loses at the very least. Probably going to see someone like Bomber, I think, come out here. Bomber, he said he has something planned. Maybe it's not for Terran versus Terran. I don't know.
Sounded a little bit like StarTale already has the order of players today. From what Bomber told me, it looked like they have a bit of a fixed order, so it might also be that he's not the second player, but the last player. So we're definitely going to find out in just a few minutes. But this is a very interesting... If you look at this in Wings of Liberty, you kind of analyze how strong is your opponent in a certain matchup. You analyze the maps too. But this is new territory.
And it's going to be a Hack, in fact. Not what I expected to see right away. I thought maybe we see Hack, but not in this situation.
Yeah. To me, this is so cool. This is a lot of new data that we are all gathering. Wings of Liberty, we have a lot of statistics, we have a lot of information about the players, about the maps, about their strengths and weaknesses. Now we have Heart of the Swarm, and of course you can still rely a little bit on the old data in Wings of Liberty to give you a general idea, but this is a new game. This is not only an add-on. Everything is new. Everything has been changed.
Everything down to the bottom, down to the last wire. You can see Code S ranking there for Hack. And, he's got a pretty decent GSTL win rate in the past. That's one thing that has not changed, is that we still have, of course, GSTL statistics and snipes and things like that you can rely on. But this is obviously a different game when you talk about win rates versus other races. Exactly.
It's always... I mean, these are accomplishments that the players achieved in the past, so they are really, really important here. StarTale Bench looking really happy and also confident.
Yeah, very confident. And this is going to be the next level of TBT, coming down on an unknown map. It has, the map name is cloaked to me, so I cannot see it, but we'll find out what it is in just a moment.
And I have to say that so far Supernova looked really, really good. This is the perfect day, Wolf. I'm so happy that we're casting this.
I am too, man. I could not be more excited. The map is Whirlwind.
Oh,
so picking a big map. And this is going to be the first time I have watched Heart of the Swarm on Whirlwind ever.
Yeah, it's actually true.
So we could see some late game scenarios on this map since it's a little bit larger. We might see things like zoning with Widow Mines, Hellbat run-bys where you run Hellions into a base and transform them into Hellbats. If your opponent doesn't react quickly enough, he's going to lose everything he has there.
And the game is starting. We have another mirror match. We have another Terran versus Terran, this time on a very, very big map. It is Whirlwind, a map that we've seen a lot of times in the Wings of Liberty. Now we have the map in Heart of the Swarm. Game 3 of the GSTL Pre-Season match between AZUBU and StarTale is about to kick off. Guys, get ready. Here we go. Game 3 brought to you by Colin Wolf.